Shifu, I got one question on the eight precepts.
Okay, like.
So, for instance, if like during observation of precepts, right? If I need to take medication in order to need to take meal in order to take medication, so how can I actually go ahead with the precepts?
Okay, very good question, Kenryuu. So for this, is under the medical allowance. Yeah. So under medical allowance, you don't really need to make any other provisions. You can just go ahead and take the supplementary meal in order to take the medication. Yeah. Granted, if you are observing the eight precepts in a retreat, then you should declare to the venerable, and the venerable will make the arrangements. So the purpose is when you're in a retreat, any exceptions should be declared so that everybody knows. Yeah, and it will not cause them to have the thought, eh, how come we observe eight precepts? But I see him go and make, get oats, get Milo. uh, so, so having declared, then everybody know the circumstances, then no problem. On your own, then important to take note, the supplementary meal should just be sufficient for you to take the medication. So cannot because of medication go and take steamboat lah. I mean, not that I think Kenryuu will be doing that, but just for everybody to know. Now, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just now I said I'm going to tell you all something. What was it? Can you remember or not? Yeah. So I remember. So I must give new credit to whoever come up with this phrase. I didn't come up with this phrase. It was 慧立法师. Yeah. 慧立法师. 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 Yeah. 慧立法师, I don't know whether you are familiar. He's a Taiwanese venerable. He has been, he's a rather senior monk. I think by now should be about maybe 40 over years. Yeah. Because I remember when I was in 60, what about 60 over years already, as in his age or his ordination. 出家
age 啦
age that's why I was thinking 他出家应该至少有40几年了因为他60岁的话，因为台湾出家也比较少说10几岁出家，中国就
20多岁20多岁
so he has ordained for at least maybe 20 over years. Because when I was in secondary school, which is 30 odd years ago, he was already giving talks. Yeah. So in the 80s, there were a lot of talks, in Singapore. Chinese talks mainly a lot of Chinese talks. But maybe it's because at that point in time, I haven't really come into contact with the Theravada lineage also. Because from what I know, Bhante Dhammananda was active already in Malaysia and Singapore. And Bhante Dhammaratana has already started the Buddhist library for a while. Yeah. So, and I think at that point in time, they were not at Geylang yet. They were at some Marine Katong site or something. So back to 慧立法师. So back then, we don't get the opportunity to always invite them over, So what happened is that we listen to the tape. Yeah, last time we listened to tape, cassette tape. Not only in the late 80s or maybe early 90s or mid 90s. Then we start to have VCD. Yeah, the crappy quality. Yeah, I can't remember whether people ever watched the VHS tape. Yeah, I think some people even get the VHS tape, but I remember we listened to the cassette tape. So this was something that he mentioned. He said that when we go to work, we think we go and earn money. คือท่านลุยคือสิร่างหอลุยทัน so I thought that's a very interesting paradigm shift yeah so every day so eventually when I go to work so I started telling my mom 妈我去好旅谈了 instead of 我去做工了我去好旅谈了 I'm going to let money earn me yeah and this is not just a snarky twist it's not just a witty comment yeah there's a lot of truth in this actually yeah because our mindset is oh I go to work and then I get money so we call this earning money but in actual fact what is happening in actual fact our life is being used up at work yeah and the company just have to give us some money and then we have to be there of course some of you say hey Shifu must have respect for money give us a lot maybe yeah but I always tell people work is something that is not what we want to do yeah I know some of you may be thinking but Shifu I quite like my work yeah I when I was working I love my job yeah Saturday I also go back to the office although it's 5-day week I just go there yeah by Sunday I cannot stand it I can't wait to go back to work yeah yeah Monday chiong so whenever I hear people talk about Monday blues yeah then in the movies last time sometimes they will have the scene where they talk about Monday blues and Monday or drag their feet go to work then I'm like what's wrong with these people I always look forward to going to work then when I was in consulting we can log into the VPN through the PPTP so we're connected to the network wow even better but we can also log in uh, yeah so I never felt that way but for most people if you have a choice work is probably the last thing you want to do yeah for most people for some people they identify so strongly with work that become their identity and sometimes it's not because of passion sometimes it's just out of habit what do I mean by that it means that you day out every day you go to work every day you go to work and every day you go to work you see your colleagues and sometimes last time a bunch of colleagues can go in as young men or young women retire as old men old women huh? Yeah they go in single they get married together I mean not among each other but each one get married then they have kids yeah until they grow until they die huh? So this is through habits over time through habits then you identify yourself with that and I tell you the trouble with that is when you identify so strongly what happens does it mean because you identify so strongly your company cannot fire you your company cannot retrench you you cannot retire still can retire still can get retrenched and when you get retrenched what happens your identity boom. Yeah identity is another name for attachment yeah then what happens suddenly every day you wake up 为什么有我 in the 90s I started to learn more about other countries and one of the things I learned about Japan was that there is widespread depression in Japan especially for the retirees yeah retirees so the depression is like congruent with age and especially when you reach the retirement age spike and then after that it dropped why because a lot of them go and commit suicide yeah so severe I suspect there are many factors of course but I suspect this is one key factor because there's the salaryman culture in Japan right I believe it has evolved over the years, but I think it's still quite entrenched, where they identify with work so strongly. I've seen some documentaries where they talk about how I think in the 90s, there was some upheaval in the tech market and so on, right? So some companies retrenched massively, then or they get fired or whatever. You know what they do? Every day they still dress up, take the suitcase, leave the house until late at night, then they come back. Not to go to work, no, just go and tuang liang malu, then go back. Why? Because um, it's a phase thing, you know. It's a phase thing. It's a dignity thing. Like the wife also know the husband got retrenched. The husband also know the wife know. They also know the neighbor know. Everybody know. But Chinese say 心照不宣. Yeah, you know in the mind, but we don't say. They just still go to work. Yeah, I'm not laughing at them. I'm not pitying them also, but I'm seeing that Singapore is going in this direction if we don't do something about it. Yeah. And industrialization enable us to have many things. One of the things is husband and wife go to work. So now women don't identify with themselves as mother so strongly, don't identify with themselves as housewife so strongly. For better or worse, this is the case. Yeah. So now women have to contend with, if you identify so strongly with yourself as a career woman or as a professional, nothing so bad. Shifu is very positive, ma. Empowerment, ma. I have financial independence, blah blah blah, all the stuff, right? Yeah, but you must know, that is just a conditional thing also. Due to conditions, you can work. Due to conditions, you are a professional. But Shifu, I have a degree. Yeah, but when you come to a certain point, you get retrenched. Who cares whether you got a degree? You are retrenched, you know? Yeah. And maybe you say, no, Shifu, my position is very firm. No, nothing is firm. Yeah, nothing is firm. Yeah. Even if you're not retrenched, can have restructuring, ma. Yeah. So good thing about Shifu is that I went through the tech cycle last time, and I was in those tech companies where changes happen so rapidly. Yeah. I remember in R&D, like every 6 months there was a reorg. Yeah, every 6 months there was a company announcement. Oh, there's a reorg. Then we are not always directly affected, but you keep hearing reorg. Yeah, in the 90s, reorg was a buzz phrase. For reorg like crazy. Yeah, but the truth is, actually, samsara is all about reorg. The whole samsara has been reorging since beginningless time. It's just that we are attached to it, thinking that it's permanent. It has been reorging. The Buddha called it anicca, called it anatta. Yeah, reorg is anatta. Anatta is reorg. Yeah, because your role is not fixed. So no self in the role. Yeah. So when we go to work, are we really going to earn money? We are going there to let the company earn our life. That's why it's called compensation. Sometimes those in their 20s, you know, they are in the Buddhist society in university, they go out to work, 那你穷 that 哇受到创伤 wow, the ego, the self-esteem, wow, then they come and look for Shifu. This Saturday, 2 more coming. Then they tell me, Shifu, I feel so miserable, like this, like that, my work lah, my boss lah, my customer lah, my client lah, office politics lah, yeah. Then I ask them, then I tell them, I say, you must remember, work is not about doing what you like. Yeah, doing what you like is called hobby. Hobby, you don't get paid. You get paid, right? So it's work. So why do they have to pay you? Because you're not doing what you like. So just now the part compensation. Yeah. Got other things are related to this. For more information, look out for future Dhamma. Okay. Wait, Louis, Is there supposed to be question that I'm supposed to answer?
Yeah, yes, Shifu. I post it on the chat already. But yeah, from Du Jia one.
Oh, how can we balance between try our best and 顺其自然? Oh, okay. But Du Jia is not here today. Then, oh yeah, because weekday Du Jia usually cannot come up. Yeah, but I think I can still answer because we record and then she can listen to it. Okay, so strike a balance between do our best and 顺其自然. There's a word that is synonymous to 顺其自然, or not a word but a phrase. 随缘. Yeah, 随缘. Yeah, so this is one thing that I always like to explain, and some of you have heard it like many times already. So the original phrase is not 随缘. Original phrase is 因上努力，果上随缘. Yeah, but 情人好简. This phrase 情人好简 is from 大智度论, one of commentary for the Mahaprajna Paramita Sastra. So 智者大师 of China, one of the master. 智者大师 basically the wise one. Yeah. So he in the forward he wrote this. Yeah, 情人好简. This literally meaning that the Qing people, you know, the Qing 死亡的 Qing, the Qing people of this dynasty, they like to be brief. And the Qing here refers to Han Ren, the Chinese. So Chinese like to be brief. How brief? 因上努力，果上随缘 too long. 果上随缘 take up. No, sorry. 因上努力 take up. Just 果上随缘. 果上随缘 still too long. 随缘就好了。But when you look at the whole phrase, whole stanza, the meaning is lost in translation. Yeah. There's a 因 and a 果 and a 缘. 因 is supposed to 努力, right? So balance between do our best. So do our best is the 因. Then 果上要随缘. So the result, you cannot say, oh, I put in effort, so I must have this result. No. Because your effort plus conditions, then you get results. That's why, as far as the result is concerned, 你要随缘。但是你没有努力，你不可以随缘的。谁叫你随缘？你都还没有努力，你就要随缘。Otherwise, all the kids after attending Dhamma class come out all fail. How come you fail this semester? 好吗？随缘啊。Cannot. Cannot. Yeah, so 随缘不是这样子用的。But oftentimes, Buddhists use the word 随缘 in a very passive way. Yeah, in a very resigned kind of way. Yeah, fatalistic way. Like, it's like life is not, there's no certainty, there's nothing that for us to control, that we cannot do anything about it. Yeah. That we must recognize that we cannot have absolute control. Yeah. But to think that we are not involved at all, that is actually wrong also. Okay, Ken. All right. Have a happy day ahead. Happy normal day ahead.